Hey guys, this is Andre, Horizon City News, and I just want to make this quick follow-up video to the last video I just put out. The El Paso City Municipal Court did email me this morning, and they reset my court date again for this traffic citation that I got in March of 2021 last year. According to the El Paso police, I was straddling lanes, and I didn't find an exact statute that matched that phrase, straddling lanes, but I found one statute which I think they might be talking about, but I'm not sure, because these police officers here in El Paso, a lot of the times, especially at the El Paso police, they'll just write down stuff like jaywalking or straddling lanes or whatever they make up, even though that's not what the actual statute says. So I'm not even sure exactly which exact statute I violated, because they just don't tell you, and they say that they don't have to, which I totally disagree with, but that's how they do it. Anyway, as you can see on the screen here, this woman named Simone Menchaca, I think that's how you pronounce it, Senior Deputy Court Clerk for Court Number 4. She's the one that emailed me this morning. She said that they were having technical issues, and that they saw me trying to log in, and they have no idea at this point what went wrong, but they do admit that there was a technical issue and that they saw me trying to log in. I'll copy and paste a copy of the email down below in case any of you guys want to read it for whatever reason. But those are the issues I'm going through right now with the El Paso City court system. I mean, it's not a crisis. It's not the end of the world. I don't have a warrant out for my arrest. They understand that I couldn't log in. But the reason I'm making these videos about the issue is because I would love if I could do virtual hearings. I mean, even before everybody doing Zoom meetings after COVID hit and everything, like even before, back in like 2017, 2018, 2019, I had always been wondering, not that I plan on getting tickets, of course, but if I did get a ticket, I was always hoping they could do something like this, especially for someone like me that lives in a bedroom community in a place like Horizon City, because basically if you don't live in the city like me, and some people live even further out than me in places like Clint and Fabens, basically if you get a ticket in the city, and I go to the city all the time, of course, so the chances of that happening are good. I mean, that I could get a ticket in El Paso at any time for various reasons. So then if you get a ticket in the city, but you're not from the city, you're automatically at a disadvantage, because you have to take this big, long drive either to the northeast or to downtown El Paso. So someone like me in Horizon City, that's automatically, a bunch of time. I mean, you got to like shut down half your day to do that. And not to mention the gas money. I mean, I'm driving a V8 truck right now, but even back in the late teens when I was driving my Toyota Prius before I got in an accident, and back then the gas prices weren't that bad, of course, like they are now. But even then, I mean, that still was gas money. I mean, I had to, even in a Toyota Prius during the late teens of, 2018, 2019, and 2020, if I wanted to drive from Horizon City to the Northeast Courthouse on Dyer Street, or if I had to go down to the downtown Municipal Courthouse, as you see in the picture here, on Overland Avenue, I mean, that was still a drive, and that's just one way. That's, you're talking 25, 30 miles one way. So it's like round trip, it was around 50 or 60 miles to go from Horizon City to either the Northeast Courthouse or to the downtown courthouse. I mean, like most counties in Texas, El Paso County is a very large county. It's very spread out. That's why I bought that Toyota Prius. It's because that's one thing that I deal with living here. I mean, I love El Paso in general. I love Texas in general, but I definitely don't have the luxury of people who live in places like San Francisco or New York, where everything is like close by, convenient. They've got, public transportation systems that can get them anywhere they want to go, that type of thing. That's just not how things work out here. I mean, this is a car-dominated culture. It's very spread out. Yeah, that's just the way it is here. So basically, like, the number one thing for me, just on a side note, is I'm always trying to base my life around shortest distances. Like, I'll go to a more expensive grocery store if it's close by and has shorter lines than I would, drive miles down. In general, drive miles down to some other part of town just to save a buck, because, especially in times like these with high gas prices, and I just don't have the patience to deal with crowds and stuff. I mean, that's what I'm all about. Me personally, is I'm always trying to make things as efficient as possible with time and gas money and all that. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that's why I like this virtual hearing program. I would just like to be able to finally use it. That's the thing. Like I said in my previous video, I had the text reader, the Siri, computer text reader read it off for me. But like I typed up in my email, I had said I followed all the instructions very carefully. I was patiently waiting. It says to log in 15 or 20 minutes early. I did all that. I was sitting in my car. I had a good signal. I was in a quiet spot. And this isn't the first time. This is actually the second time. First time I tried doing the exact same thing for this citation was back in October 2021 when I first got my virtual hearing set up for this citation. So now, fast forward to late July 2022, I'm still trying to deal with a traffic citation that I got in March of 2021. And obviously a lot of the delays were because of COVID, because the court system got so backed up and everything. So it is what it is. And I mean, this is all small potatoes. It's not the end of the world. It's not a crisis, but it's just an issue that I wanted to bring up to people, generally locals who live in the El Paso metro area, but also just people around the country as well, because maybe there's a program at your court system that you don't know about, or that you could suggest to the government that also would, do something like this, having virtual hearings, because it changes everything. I mean, if someone doesn't have to literally get in their car and drive from point A to point B to deal with, a minor traffic ticket, and they could just do it from their phone or tablet or computer, I mean, that just changes everything. They save time, they save gas, they they can do it from the location they choose. I just think it's a great thing, but it's got to work, and it didn't work for me this second time in a row. I guess the court system and the government, they're just working out the bugs in the system, at least with the city court. Because like I said in my email, the county court, I also, just by coincidence, I had a virtual hearing for my arraignment for my criminal charges that were for interfering with public duties and disrupting a public meeting for my incident that happened at the Clint County Government Building, where I was video recording in the lobby. Anyway, I did the virtual hearing for that, and their system at the county courthouse worked just fine. There was no issues, none. I logged in. The bailiff was there on the screen. I only spoke to him for like a minute or 30 seconds, and I was let go because it was just the lawyers that needed to talk. I didn't have to be there. But the point I'm trying to make is the county courthouse system, virtual hearing, no problems. It just went off, worked perfectly. So anyway, like I said, this is just a short follow-up video. And the court system has now, they're working on rescheduling this traffic citation again. And hopefully I can finally get this virtual hearing system to work for me in the future. All right, guys. If you have any other tips or suggestions for stories or anything like that, and you can always call me. I got all the contact information down below in the description box. And if you've had any issues with the El Paso, Texas city court system, or any justice of the peace, or any county courthouse, whether it's a virtual hearing or an in-person hearing, any issues with court systems, I'd love to hear about it. Make sure that you go down in the description box and consider reaching out to me, and we could try to get your story out there. You could always text me, 915-781-4330, and I will reach back out to you. And again, that's 915-781-4330. You can text me anytime. All right, guys. Well, I hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll be in touch.